how long I can go without missing a day jumping on this channel, no matter what it is, as long as it's football talk every single day. Now, we did talk about that. I eventually sometimes will talk about other sports. I'm still discriminating against the NBA because the NBA is just a pathetic league to me. Basketball isn't a pathetic sport, but the NBA is a pathetic league. Whatever. That's my opinion. But every single day, there's so much news that's coming out of football, the NFL. Like, there's so much to talk about. There should be no reason why I can't jump on here at least 15 minutes, and talk. Even if it's not even 15 minutes, there should be no reason why I just can't jump on here and just talk to y'all, man, about football. I want all football fans in the world to go ahead and jump and subscribe on this channel, please, because it's unlimited NFL talk here. It's unlimited football talk here. We can always find something to talk about. And right now, what I want to talk about is who do y'all think is going to be the MVP this upcoming season? Let me know what y'all think. MVPs. Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, the one and only my boy Justin Herbert. I've even heard CJ Stroud. I don't think so. Not at all. Trevor Lawrence. He has came along. He has come along lately. He really has. Trevor Lawrence has been getting better. He played very well last year. He has surprised me. I thought Trevor Lawrence was one of those guys who was just never going to get good. And he has gotten a little better. So I think he can keep getting better. I think if he can keep going, keep doing what he's doing, I do believe that Trevor Lawrence will prevail. I think he will maybe, I'm not going to go that far and be an Hall of Famer, but he could probably crack top 10. Maybe maybe crack top 10. Maybe for Trevor. But the obvious, in my book, the obvious is Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes. Those guys are the obvious right there. Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams is the obvious in my book. I think those guys are going to be in the MVP talks every year. Caleb, Josh, Lamar, Justin, Patrick. Those guys are great players. Joe Burrow. So I got some guys that jumped on. Let me know who you think gonna be the MVP of this upcoming season. You already know I got Justin Herbert. It's all written for him. It's all written for Justin Herbert right now, man. You got Mike McDaniel calling the plays for you, being your offensive coordinator. You got a beefed up offensive line. We drafted like so many offensive linemen this draft. We drafted an offensive lineman, I think like in the fifth or sixth round. He's bigger than Joe Alt. And all those offensive linemen are athletic. Mike McDaniel, he needs the offense that he calls, the offensive lineman has to be athletic. That's why everybody wanted what's his name to stay. I can't remember the guy's name, but this was an offensive lineman that we let go, I think, and I think he went to going to the Browns. I hate that I forget his name, but then we look at our receivers: Trey Harris, Ladd, and KLS, Brendan Thompson. We got guys, man. We got guys, and who knows? Maybe we can still get Njoku and maybe AJ Brown. AJ Brown, I think is going to be traded this around June 1st, so they're talking about it. So who knows what the Chargers got under the belt? But let's talk away from quarterbacks. The quarterbacks is obvious. Those guys, those top five quarterbacks, they're obvious. But what about maybe Christian McCaffrey? Maybe if he can come back to how he was. Let's see. Maybe even Amarian Hampton. Maybe Amarian Hampton could be in the talks because how great of a offensive coordinator Mike McDaniel is, and you know that running backs is his forte. Like running backs prevail under his system. So running backs like maybe Amarian Hampton. Let's see. Maybe Derrick Henry. I don't know. I don't know how much juice Derrick Henry got, but he has not looked like he's been slowing down. Who else? Let's see. I'm just trying to think of other guys outside of quarterbacks that can probably be in MVP talks this year that can just have a crazy year. Let me think. Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, probably. Let's see. Let me think. Those guys, I don't really know. This is my opinion, like Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, but it doesn't really matter how great of a year those guys have. They're probably not. They're going to always be in the back because it's just they always put the quarterbacks in the top. But with me saying MVP talks, I'm also going to be like, if I name guys outside of quarterbacks, I'm also saying that these guys are going to have great years. Like I think Justin Jefferson is going to come back and just snap off. He's never left my top one. I refuse to have put Justin Jefferson out of the top one because I knew what his situation was. Even with Jamar Chase and JSN doing their thing, I just was just like, Justin Jefferson is still the best. He may not be showing it with the tangible eye because of his situation, but again, I tell you all, football is situational, is circumstantial. It's about matchups. It's so you can't just look at stats and look at highlights and then just be like, oh, this guy is automatically the best. This guy is. Yeah, you gotta take everything in consideration. That's what I do when I evaluate, when I analyze these guys. I take everything into consideration. So that's why it's so lousy when you just look at wins and losses. You just look at stats. You just look at all that stuff. It's lousy, and that's what this channel is all about. We're not going to be a lousy analyst, So that's what I'm saying. That's my point. That's my opinion. And that's how I've always looked at the game. I've never looked at highlights. I've never looked at just stats and stuff. I used to hate when I used to argue with people and they will always just bring up just stats and it's just like, do you watch the game actually? Because the stats doesn't tell the whole story. Like they always, people try to say, oh, numbers don't lie. They more than likely don't lie, but they don't tell the whole entire story. And watching the games, watching the tape, understanding the game, understanding the tape, understanding what you're actually looking at, understanding how great is this defense? How great is this defense freaking good against this quarterback? How great is this defensive back? How much competition is this wide receiver who's putting up great numbers? How much competition, like what is the secondary that he's facing week in and week out? Because one wide receiver can be snapping off, but if the secondary that he's facing is a little bit more is not as it's not as dominant, I guess you could say, or it's not as great as the secondary as another wide receiver who's in a different conference or different division. Is that guy really that better? Or is this quarterback, or who is that quarterback? You see what I'm saying? So it's who is this offensive coordinator? Who's calling the play? So it's so much that comes into consideration that I just feel like us as fans, as watchers of the games, as analysts, coaches does this, but those guys, we need to just take more stuff into consideration. So that's what I really, really want to stress throughout the entire football ecosystem, specifically the NFL ecosystem, because if we do that more, I think we will have better analysis and better judgment when it comes to who's the best, who is not the best, because the guys who truly are the best, they deserve to get better recognition. So, and this just kind of takes my argument with Patrick Mahomes. I think Patrick Mahomes is going to be a Hall of Famer one day, but I honestly never really thought that. Well, I'm not going to say never. I'm not going to say never. Sometimes I do think he is absolutely the best quarterback in the league, but lately I just don't think he's the best. I just don't think I think he stopped being the best 3 years ago. I really did, because I just was watching the game and I can't say Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback year in, year out, just automatically, and just say, oh, he's the king of the hill. He's just automatically better than everybody. It's just like Patrick Mahomes is here and then there's everybody else. The media loves doing that. They love trying to kind of Brady him. It's like obvious Brady is the best and then everybody else, but Patrick Mahomes is not on that level. We've seen Patrick Mahomes get dog walked in the last Super Bowl he was. We've seen him not play that well the last season that he played. We haven't really seen Patrick Mahomes play really top football in a very long time. And I don't think it's fair to have all these excuses for guys, for Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, to have these excuses for them. And we just kind of just knock all the other quarterbacks because they haven't had success in the playoffs and in the Super Bowl as much as Patrick Mahomes has. Have we forgotten? The media doesn't like bringing up that Andy Reid had a lot to do with that. Steve Spagnuolo's defense had a lot to do with that. And so it infuriates me when I see these things and I hear these things. And so I'm going to keep pushing every single time that I get a chance to remind everyone that there are other quarterbacks who, more than likely, if you were to sit there with them quarterbacking right by Patrick Mahomes, that they are more than likely going to be playing the position better than him. You put him in a situation, you put that quarterback in a situation, same situation as Patrick Mahomes. You put Justin Herbert in the same situation as Patrick Mahomes. Justin Herbert will do more. He will do more. He just would. And so, and that's why I'm really excited about this year, because this year is going to definitely prove me right. It's going to prove me right of what I've been preaching about on this channel for years. And in writing. I mean, I was writing before I created this YouTube channel. And I will go back to writing too. I will go back on Substack and start writing my little letters and attaching them to these videos for you all to watch and check out and stuff, because I think it'll be really great, really forcing my opinions and pushing my ideas in football, my football knowledge and football ideas and opinions on you all, so you guys can really see where my judgment is, and you can get a different taste, a different type of perspective than the same old bullcrap that the media, like First Take and all those other guys, how they like to just shove the nonsense down your throat. Because I know you all are much smarter than what the media tries to portray, tries to play you as, insulting your intelligence, and they're just biased. You know, a lot of them are just very biased. There's some analysts on there that's not as biased, but don't we get tired of them talking about the same bullcrap every single time they're on there? Always talking about the Dallas Cowboys, always talking about whatever their favorite team was or whoever they played for. We're always talking about them, but they're always talking about these main teams every single week in, week out. And it's just like, wow, dang, I'm a Jacksonville Jaguars fan. Can you talk about the Jaguars for a change? I'm a, let's see. I mean, now they're talking about the Browns because of Shedeur Sanders, but it's like, oh, I'm a Miami Dolphins fan. Can you talk about the Dolphins for a change? Like, you know what I'm saying? So you have to really sit here and try to figure out, or try to subscribe to your to a podcast that your favorite team possibly may have, but some of them probably don't really have as much coverage. So you probably don't know. So I know I instinctively kind of am guilty of that as well. I will instinctively sometimes just talk about Justin Herbert and the Chargers a lot, but I do talk about other teams a lot too. I talk about other teams on this channel as well. You can go and look every single week. I give you when the football season comes, I give you my predictions of every single team. And then I go back after prime time, after Sunday night, and after Monday night, and I talk about every single game. They don't do that. They don't do that. So that's where the difference between my channel and these other media channels is going to that's the difference. That's the gap. So I'm going to fill all those gaps, because again, the NFL is bigger than just the Dallas Cowboys. You know, so that's all I got right now. I thank you all so much for watching. I'll be back very, very soon. Whatever ideas or thoughts I have, I'm just going to jump on here and just talk to you all about it. I think it's fun to do that. And whatever articles or letters or whatever, if I'm watching a channel or watching a podcast and they say something, just jump on here and just chit chat with you all. You can ask me questions. If you disagree with me, please disagree with me openly. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me what you think. Why do you think that, Dante? Please, why do you keep thinking that Justin Herbert is the best quarterback in the league? Please, this is live. You can stress test me live right off the bat, and I will tell you, because I know what I'm talking about, and I can articulate my ideas, my thoughts, my opinions for you to understand. You may still not agree, but you could still be like, okay, this guy actually has a point. I get where he's coming at. And then not only that, you can look at the games. You can start watching these games and start checking it out and being like, I get what he's saying about Justin Herbert, about the situation. I get what he's saying about Patrick Mahomes, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, yada, yada, yada. So that's the thing, man. I would love for you. I mean, you all are producers of this channel as well. I'm not going to only just talk about what I want to talk about. Whatever you want me to talk about, it's an open door policy. So, hey man, I do want to freaking be able to have the knowledge on every single team. Like I'm a scout for every single team, and put on that GM cap and just be like, oh, I would do this, I would do that, I wouldn't do that, I wouldn't do this. And what it takes for your team to actually try to win a Super Bowl. What does it take for the Cleveland Browns to actually go to the Super Bowl, or the Jets to actually go to the Super Bowl? What would I do if I was the Jets GM? I will start making more videos like that. I will start thinking about stuff like that. And it will take time, and it's going to take a lot of research, but that's the fun of it. That's the beauty of it. And one day I would like to be a GM owner one day, and I think that's where probably we'll start. I mean, I don't know what's like the correct way of going about it, but I think this channel was a good way. This channel and my writings is a good way to prove my intelligence and to prove my skills of that I could be a scout GM owner one day. So, hey, that's all I got right now. Thank you all so much for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Give me your thoughts, your ideas. Tell me what you want to talk. Tell me what you think, what I should talk about. If you've got a team, player, whatever. Even in college, let me know. All right. All day, no days off. Deuces.